Okay, resuming Highway 79 south. You know, I watched a video a couple of days ago, and it really made me take stock on how I ride. What's clicking here? I not have my I don't have my helmet. I gotta stop and fix that. It really made me kind of take stock on how I ride. You know, hey, I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I'll get my bike up to a fairly quick speed. You know, just to test it out, see how quick it'll go up to 130, which is about the top speed. And you know, as long as you understand the risks involved with that, I don't have a problem with that. Wow, you know, there is a lot of fucking mosquitoes down here. I had to get out of there a while ago because they were just all over the place. I couldn't stand it. And I stopped there just a minute and they're swarming me again. Bunch of bikers, Harley guys. What was I saying? Oh yeah, speed. You know, you take your bike out on the highway. You know, you run it 75, 85 mile an hour, and you're going with the flow of traffic, and you're riding fairly safe. To me, that's pretty exhilarating. That's, you know, it's not racing, but speed limit 40. It's not racing, but you know, it's still get your blood pumping a little bit. It's not bad. You know, I bought a sport bike because I like the styling of it. I like the looks of it. I like that it has, you know, quite a bit of power available. Wow. If you know, if I need it, I like that. I'm not gonna lie. I really do like the fact that it's powerful. But do I? God damn, you know, it's just, I don't live in like a town that's close to a river like this. Historic Clarksville, Missouri. But anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, speed. For somebody to get a sport bike, I'm gonna go down there. Come on, lady. For somebody to buy a sports bike, this is kind of cool. And think that they have to ride it at, you know, 100 mile an hour plus for a long extended period of time, to me anyway, is a little bit crazy. Again, I don't, you know, it's not my call anyway. I mean, don't listen to me. But to ride it for an extended period of time and just feel like you have to do it that way, and that's the only way that you enjoy riding your sport bike or your cruiser or whatever, it's just, it's silly, in my opinion. Look, that little playground right down by the river, look how flooded it is. Wow. And not to mention, it is incredibly dangerous. There's a lot of difference between me going out and finding a really safe, uncrowded stretch of highway and getting it up to 130 and then backing off of it, you know, and then finishing my ride. There's a lot of difference between that and then and getting up to, you know, 100 plus, 150 plus, whatever, and riding it for, you know, an hour, just riding it continually that fast. You know, to each his own, but you have to remember something. If you want to ride that fast, again, this is only my opinion, if you want to ride that fast, you need to go to a track. Pay your money, pay your, how much, I've never been to a track, so I have no idea how much it is. or a racing school, which I don't know, I think it's like $500 to $1,000 or something to go to a racing school and get your thrills that way. See, the problem when I have somebody running their bike that hard for that an extended period of time on a public road is the fact that, I don't know, I look at it as being, you know, just being me, not thinking of anybody else, but only thinking of yourself, what you want to do. But you got to remember, there are other people out on the road that have just as much right to use it as you do. Now, you know, you go around a corner at 100 plus, whoops, turn your blinker off. You go around a corner at 100 plus and you lose it. Now, some people might say, well, you know, if that happens at the risk that I take. But what about the fact that if you lose it around that corner, and I'm coming around the corner in my van or on my sport bike, or I've got, you know, I'm in my van, I've got my wife and my kids and stuff. You know, have you ever seen pictures of what a sport bike going at a good rate of speed will do to a vehicle? Especially if it goes through like the side, it'll fucking go right through it. Which means the people inside are not going to be in that great a condition. I don't know, just, you know, maybe you rethink that. You know, if it's that big of a deal that you want to ride so fast, wow, look how fucking high that water is. If you want to ride that fast, go to a track and do it. You know, I'm working on my second year of experience, and I am nowhere near experienced enough to ride that fast for that long. Nowhere near. And I don't know, I mean, if you've been riding for 5 or 10 years, maybe you're that experienced too. You're that experienced to ride. But if you're that experienced where you can ride that fast, why aren't you being sponsored by you know, a racing organization that races sport bikes, and you're at the track? I don't know. Maybe that's why my little sarcastic answer to that. I mean, you know, I've seen people doing videos, and they're darting in and out of traffic, and they're giving every excuse why it's safer to do that. But what they're not understanding, I don't know if they're not intelligent enough to understand it or not, or maybe they're still, you know, when you have a family, it makes you grow up a lot. Some people, they don't need a family. They don't need to be, you know, 30 some years old. You know, some people are just naturally have got a lot of common sense. But you know, when you have a kid, and you start thinking of the consequences of doing something really stupid, you know, it changes your whole outlook on stuff. And maybe that's why young guys like to go fast on their sport bikes and not give a second thought to who they could possibly hurt by doing it, or riding through a congested town, going, you know, 3 times the speed of traffic, and not worrying about whether if somebody that's not quite as experienced riding or driving maybe makes a turn at the wrong time, or opens their door, or a kid darts out in front of them. Maybe they're not giving thought to that, but I don't know, maybe they should. Maybe they should, because it only takes 1 second of stupidity to ruin somebody's life, either yours or someone else's. So that's my take on people that think they have to ride fast all the time on public streets and public highways. I just don't believe it. So I've kind of adopted that. You know, I have ridden fast before, not incredibly fast, but not for an extended period of time. But I've decided that, you know, it's in my best interest just to, you know, ride the speed limit, maybe a little bit faster, and just enjoy the ride, instead of, frankly, being, you know, scared out of my mind every time I go riding. That doesn't do anything for me. Maybe it does for you, I don't know. Okay, end of my rant. No more.